And greetings, everyone. I might have to stop for a moment. I just realized something, and I might have to do something about that. So, I think rather than start over completely, hi, one of the couriers wants to tell me something, whisper something in my ear. Rather than start over completely
How are you?
in just a minute, I'm good. How are you, Juliana? That's Juliana. She's one of our carpenters who's coming up to see what's going on with me. And I was standing here for a reason, and I'm going to, just until I can, do what I need to do. Hi, guys. They're all going to come up and talk to me now because I'm standing here and they don't see me that often standing still. I am standing outside of the warehouse. The warehouse is a level 5 Old English warehouse. And one of the things that I want to point out is the reason, hi, Zoe, is that you? I think that's either Zoe or Vienna, one of the courier women that I have, and there's one of the guys. And with his hair like that, I'm going to change my view. This is how I play. So I love Minecolonies and the way the people are. You see how friendly the people are. And I like the way they live their lives. And so when I pick a style as the dominant style, Old English is the dominant style in this town, then the buildings reflect that dominant style. And I do have some variety. You can see right from this street that there is some Inca houses down at the end, and there's a guard tower at the very end of the street that is actually a Shire Additions guard tower. But mostly I wait until the level 5, and then I begin to personalize the style for this town. And if I didn't like this style, I wouldn't use it at all. So, and there are so few styles that I don't like. Using that word like, most of it is I'm trying to find a style that I want that'll be fun for a town. So this is Anyanka's. Anyanka is the style designer, and for Old English, this is Old English style, which you can find on planetminecraft.com, and you can download the style and add it to your, it'll automatically add to your, no it won't. You have to add it, incorporate it into your mod pack to have as a style. There's a way to do it. I cannot explain it to you. I'm not a coder. If Vincentius Primus was available, he probably could tell you just sort of offhandedly, but I can't. However, continuing on, so she had 3 doors here, and Minecolonies is not really made for 3 doors. They have double doors, but they don't have 3 doors. So I decided to pull the doors out and put in gates in both the entrances that we have. So we changed this to gates, and everyone's happy with it. This is, after all, a warehouse. We decided to add another entrance that didn't exist in this style, in this warehouse original configuration. We added it to the back here so that the warehouse would be connected to the rail. This is the Trade Post train station right here. It's a level 4 right now. We have level 4, level 5, and level 3 buildings at the moment. We have level 4 work. We have level 5 for a couple buildings because, like this one, because we needed to have more room in the warehouse. And so that's why we have a level 5 warehouse. And but all of our workstations are level 4s except the builders. The builders are level 5. At the time when they get to level 4, going up to level 5 is easy enough to do, to just make it so that they have something to, it's faster. They are much faster building at level 5, and that's what we want. Now this is a level 3, and we're ready for the level 4s. We have enough dining halls. we have enough food, we have enough of everything to have a level 4 housing. And so we're starting with housing that has there. Anyanka has housing that has shops nested into the housing, and that's the ones that we're trying to get to first. But we've gotten most of those, and now we're starting on the other housing. So here, McKenna just said, uh-oh, it's a thunderstorm. I'm going to borrow one of these beds for a moment. Now we do have lightning rods on the tallest buildings, so I'm not really concerned about that. It's just the noise that thunder and lightning makes. It's pretty frightening. And so I'm going to, it's the next morning. Nobody came to bed. Everyone was up all night with the storm. So I have to make sure that everyone actually gets to sleep this night coming up. I was going to look and see, I believe McKenna announced, no, Maisie announced that she's done. McKenna's not done. She started the Forester's Hut. When she's done with the Forester's Hut, I'm going to have her work on this. So I'm going to put it for her to upgrade. And then we'll see if we want to take down these torches and actually put in lights. As you can see, this is really kind of just a dorm for the builders, for the couriers themselves. If they want to live here, they can. So far, we have the train station master living here, Thatcher. We have Cade and Jalapari living here. And Jalapari is the number 2 in the warehouse. He actually manages the warehouse. Gregory is the warehouse manager. He is the number 1 courier, and he is doing import, export at the river port. He has his own office at the river port. And so that is how we are working out the couriers. Now, we have enough couriers right now for level 4, which is 8 couriers, with Trenton, one of our kids, Trenton, actually joining the couriers. So we have a full level, we have a full number 8 of these. So I hear now, let me take a moment. I'm actually just going to put on the Be Right Back for one of these times here. So I'm going to put it on right now, and I will be right back. Okay, welcome back everybody. I just needed to do something right quick, and that was quick. So I was explaining about this beautiful warehouse, and how they even have some tables here for when they're off duty so that they can come and sit. And the warehouse is, all the warehouse storage is in 2 locations. The main location is down here. This is a level 5 warehouse, and you can see how many of these racks there are down here. You can also see that we still have some empties because we just became a level 5 just recently, and we haven't filled up, thank goodness. And then the other place where we have storage is on the 2nd floor. And I like to think of this storage, I like to think of this storage as precious storage, but it really isn't. It's just some things. Notice there are potatoes up here, there are flowers, and there are lots of flowers. Interesting. I wonder if we should sell these. I don't think these are going to sell for anything. I know the poppies will, and we're not selling medication. The tulips might, and we have a fair amount of them. Let's see what these will bring at the market. These right here. If they'll bring a decent, they might not bring anything at the market. I'm not selling medications. I'm not selling dandelions. I'm not selling poppies, because that we don't sell flesh. That goes back based on my story that I am an ambassador from the mermaid nation of Tana, a mermaid nation. We are a mob nation, and we have, look at all these. Look, do we need this many? I don't know. We'll find out. Beds, we can sell them later and see what's going on. We have a fair amount of wheat seeds. Let's see what the wheat seed price is. And we're looking at that. I know we can compost, but we must have enough compost. So, you like the Be Right Back music? I do too. It's a shame we don't hear it that often, but it is cool music. Vincentius Primus, his music. Right now we're listening to Drone Hands, but the Be Right Back music belongs to Vincentius Primus. He designed it. He designed the intro music and the outro music. And I am greatly appreciative of those. Hi. So let me come here and let me, and he's saying he likes the Be Right Back music because he hasn't heard it in a while. He hasn't heard it in a long time. I rarely use it now. There was a time when I was doing more than 3 hours at a time that I did have to do the Be Right Back music, but I don't do it as much. Mr. Villager, oi! Oi, Mr. Villager, how are you? And what am I supposed to be checking? I said, oh, I have things for them to sell. Let me see if they'll sell these. Now, they might not sell them. And if they don't sell them, I'm putting them in a stash box so they can go back to the warehouse. But let's see if they'll sell these flowers. So we're going to put in weed seeds, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's see what happens here. Orchards, nope, they're not going to sell those. And so that's one is going to go away. So the orchids, they don't sell. So we'll put them in the stash box. Let me put this flesh in my backpack for a second so that there's no mistaking what's going on there. And speaking of my backpack, let's come here and let's put these things in my backpack. Why do I have so many of these? Hold on. Okay, I'm going to put these in here. These are things I've picked up, and much brighter. Yeah, because it's daytime. It's daytime, so it's brighter than it was last night. I'm going to have to do something about the nighttime because it was way dark, wasn't it? So yeah, I'll have to do something to make it not quite as dark as it was. And there's Mia. Mia's working on a soup. Let's see how much he's selling these flowers for. So the azures are 31. The tulips, ooh, good price for the tulips. I know cornflowers have a good price, and alliums. Azures do not have a good price, and I'm turning them. I might as well just leave them on, and he can sell them. It doesn't matter. And so he's become a flower shop. And what is he selling? He's selling beds. Look at that. He is selling beds. And the price of beds is 1,000. So we are up to 2,233,433 coin right now. And so we are making some coin, aren't we? That's Eli. And we were just in Jack's shop, and Jack has a customer in his shop, and Eli has 2 customers looking at beds. And so maybe next time yellow works better if you have it. Yellow light. You're saying yellow light? Because the light is actually yellow, which is weird that it looks red, but it's actually yellow that was on. And so I'm going to have to use something that's closer to white to actually being light in order to make it look right. And we were on Twitch yesterday, and on our Twitch stream yesterday, today is June 2nd. 2026. So if you are watching this within a couple days of June 2nd and you have a Twitch account, you can go to Twitch and see what we did. We didn't do that much. Why does to office? Yeah, but I think it would brighten up a little tiny bit if I had just a little tiny bit more white in the room. The room is glowy as it is, and so that's making it, for some reason, look red. And it's not. It's not, but I can't get it to be differently. So I'm in the new location. I'm on the East Coast again. It's been a long time since I've streamed on the East Coast, about 6 months. And so we're kind of getting used to everything working and seeing what works with the stream. So that's one of the things that I was doing on Twitch yesterday, is just getting used to what would make it work here. And so now we just were explaining some things about how I play. By the way, while remaking your NPCs, you thought of something. Yeah, I'd like to hear about it. So what Mr. Villager is talking in chat, so we're going to include his chat. For those of you who can't see it, I'll tell you what he's talking about, and welcome everybody. And what I was explaining was what I do when I get to level 5 with the buildings, that I begin to personalize them a little bit more. So Anyanka's entrance here had the workers coming straight down these stairs. However, we would like the workers to be able to come down sideways, to come down here to take the shortcut. They want a shortcut anyway, so let's have them shortcut. Let's make it okay for them. However, this little piece that Anyanka has out, this piece right here, you can see is a panel, comes out onto the sidewalk area, and next to the stairs it's too bulky. So we removed that part the way these are set up here, and we put in this right here. Now over here we haven't put the this back the way it was, because I thought I was going to maybe take the whole thing down, but I'm not. So I'm going to take this piece, and this piece, and we'll bring them over here, and we'll fix this part right here. So she had these here and then these in front, and that gives us those that go all the way around, which is fine for every place except this front, where we want them to be able to shortcut. So that's what I'm doing with that part. And that I don't, thanks, hold on. And sorry for, you're not interrupting. You're not interrupting. We're having a conversation, and I'm just talking while I'm waiting for you to say what you're going to say. So you're not interrupting. I'm just waiting until you actually type what you're going to say, Mr. Villager. So, so this is how we modified this building. Also, as I was saying, we put in, she had a door in the back right here. These are the couriers, and they're all level 4. We'll bring them up to level 5 as soon as McKenna or Cash is available to do that. This is Anyanka's door, back door, but we wanted a door to go into the rail station, and so we added this tunnel entrance to go into the rail. There's the train station terminal right there. That's Trade Post. And then we have rail running both east and west of the city. And so we wanted another 3 wide entrance into the rail area. And then this is just a back door for the couriers to use that comes out, because right here is the mining complex, and the mining complex level 4 with the ore smelter, the blacksmith, and the stonemason all working here, plus 2 2 guards to go down into the mine. We only have Harrison right now. When we have more people, we might have the flexibility to have another. This is Riley's mine right here, and as you can see, he is all the way down to the bottom. It's wild when you have cobble like that. It just looks so strange. But he is working on certain levels right now. He's mining out materials, and we have done research at the university so that he gets more ore. You can actually do 2 researches at the university for getting more ore, and we've done at least one of those researches. And the builders are faster now because they're at level 5. And except for Wade, and I think Wade is working on his shop right now, and I'm going to go and check for a second. Oh, you emailed it to me. Okay, hold on. I thought you were typing in the in what you call it. Hold on for a second. Let me look and see. So here we have this, and he is a level 5. Dun, da, da, da. So he finished. So I think he is working on one of his houses, and I don't have to think. I can look right here. He's not working on a single thing. So we're going to give him a couple of things to work on, and soon you will explain everything. Okay, Mr. Villager sent me something, but he wants to explain everything later. In chat, hold on, let me see. And let me look here. So it is nighttime, it's 1:24 at night. Wade is finally going up and sleeping upstairs, which is nice. We're going to have all the beds move upstairs. No, I think not. I think level 4 puts another bed down here. We took away the beds that were up down here after it's level 5. That's what we did. Build options. The builder is Wade. Upgrade the building. And we've got that for a minute. Vincentius, did you turn on the fan? Vincentius?
Yes.
Did you turn on a fan?
Yes.
Because I can hear it really loud.
Okay.
I can. Yeah, I was surprised by that, but I can hear that super loud. Let's have Wade work on these 2 first. So he's going to be working on these little tin houses, and he has 4 of them that he's going to bring up to level 4. So we're going to have Wade upgrade these. And going already overloading him? No, he just has 2. I only have them have 2 projects at a time. He just finished his builder shop, and now he's going to work on these. And I only assign 2 projects at a time. The only time that I assign more is when they're doing something like that only has like 3 things, and that's the upgrade, 3 pieces of material. So let me go here for a second, since it's 3 o'clock at night. We could go down into the tavern and see the people hanging out, and then I'll go to look at what Mr. Villager sent me. Yes, see, all these people are visitors right here. And let's hold on for just a second. Wow, those are big. My mail isn't downloading those just yet because they're pretty big. So it's just showing me placeholders for the things that you sent. They're not downloaded. I would have to download them all. So I'm not going to do that right now. So you're going to have to tell me about them. What are you sending me? Yes, it's an industrial fan, all right. So yeah, you'll have to tell me what they are because they're too big for me. Yeah, on my phone, I would have to download each one of them and look at them. And I'm streaming. And no one else can see them but me. So, yeah, I know. I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm sorry. Tell me what you sent me. Tell me what you sent me. So that's what it looks like with the new front. It looks like that, which I'm quite happy with, actually. So we're going to take a picture of that. All right, so it is sunrise. We didn't go to sleep. We're going to check on all the builders. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah. But I'm streaming. Tell me about it. So let's come here. The sun is coming in. The sun is rising, and it's on the horizon, so it's really bright the way I'm walking. But we're headed towards the builder Violetta. She was our last builder, and she's way out here because she's actually the outpost builder. And we are actually going to attempt the outpost today. And let's come here. This is her new shop that she's working on, and she's in the dark because she needs something. Sure enough, she needs lanterns, and they're going to be delivered. And when she gets these lanterns, she will be done with the level 5 shop. And when she's done with it, see, it's fit into this wall here. When she's done with it, then we'll see if we want to keep it in the materials that it's in, or if we want to change it into, this is dark dust. And we don't need all this decoration on top. So we'll probably take the decoration off of the top of it, or we'll just leave it. It's kind of pretty. It almost looks like she decorated it herself, doesn't it? It does look like that. So maybe we'll just leave it. Okay, so Mr. Villager is telling me what it is. These are a few references for a curious change you have thought recently about the NPC's textures, which you might take this moment where you're tweaking them for bedrock, so it might economize time. Ah, you're showing me pictures of things that are influencing the way you are creating the new NPC textures that you want to create for your special project. Okay, cool. I get it. And I will look at them later. I will look at them and see. You can, if you want the people who are watching to have some idea of what you're talking about, you can tell me what they are, and we can do that. Why don't we take a shortcut here? So see where we are? We're in the railroad tunnel, and we're at the eastern end of the tunnel in town, and we're going to go to the western end of the tunnel where the gatehouse is. Close to the gatehouse, we have the market district, and that housing is the housing that we were having Wade work on. And we're going to look for a second and see what's going on there. I'm going to see about the special flags that we need. I'm going to reset the other outpost that I have because it's acting weird, and I think I want to completely reset it and do a new one, do a new build of it. So Mr. Villager is continuing what he was talking about, and here's what we have here. So we requested some additional bottles. We requested, I didn't request mud. Why are you giving me mud? I didn't request mud. And we requested that so we can put the bottles in here. Why did I get mud? That's interesting. And then we'll hold on to these outpost markers, and we'll use them in just a moment. So Mr. Villager is continuing in chat to explain. What he's saying is, what if instead of making skins for each different NPC job, you simply do standardized civilian clothing, but of course some exceptions depending on some specific jobs. So you're talking about uniforms. Because that's what that would be. Mia is boiling some soup, so we're going to step away from where she is. Her pot is very loud. Remember when the tavern music used to be really loud? The pot and Trade Post, the stew pot, the stew Melier's pot is very loud like that. I think I've forgotten to say something about it too, that the sound needs to be turned down on the stew Melier's pot. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, that they would have clothes, you would make clothes for everyone, but you wouldn't make specific clothes for specific jobs. So for instance, Eli, for example, he is a shopkeeper and he has on a special outfit that identifies him as a shopkeeper. And the workers, the builders, they have on a special outfit that identifies them as workers.
So nice.
That's what Mr. Villager is talking about. And what he's talking about doing is having them not have a whole bunch of different clothing, especially for the school. The universities have like several different pieces that they wear. They have professors and students and deans and all of that, and they all have different outfits. And so I think that is what he's talking about. So the couriers so this is courier. This is the female couriers of default. Am I using default? I think I was using default because it was spring and it was too cold for light clothing, and it's too, let's see what we've got. Yeah, no, I'm using medieval style. Yeah, I'm not using I wasn't using default. I was using medieval. And I had wanted to use the new modern, which is a funny name because it actually goes back to the traditional Minecolonies style. But it's glitched and I don't know whether it's been fixed or not. And I don't want to, should we check and see? We could check and see. And then in the summertime, we'll use Hellenic and we'll use East Asian in the hot, hot summer. And we can use those, and then we'll go back to the other styles. I'll try the modern for a minute. Now I'm getting all these different types of clothing styles because I am a patron of Minecolonies team. And as patron in Patreon, one of the things that I get is different styles of clothes. So we just changed everybody's clothing. So we'll notice the difference as we come, and I don't know who that was, but this is going to be fun. So everyone now is dressed in a modern style, and it's still glitched. Okay, so we're not going to use it. So this is what I mean by glitched. That is the person's pants on his arm. So you see how he has one arm. You see what's happening with the arms on there? And it's only the guys. And they said it would take a while for it to be done. I think it takes a while for it to be done because no one's doing it. Yeah, no one's volunteered to go back in and fix it. But you can see he's naked on one side of his, he only has on one pant. And so that's why I haven't been using the modern styles. So we're going to go back to medieval, which is sort of a spring style. And we can use that very easily. The modern style was added in the fall and was beautiful, and there's some parts of it that are really cool and wonderful, but so many of the visitors are partially dressed. I just didn't want to use it. No more aesthetical appropriation. Now everything will be wool, leather, linen, hats, coats, and bags. Yeah, I hear you. That might be the latest fashion. No, it's not. It's not the latest fashion. It's a glitch. And so it is raining. And what time of day is it? It is 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's just before sunset. The sun is probably already down, but it's still light, a little light because it's raining. And I have someone who doesn't have anything to do. So Maisie is not working on a building. So let's go and look at the buildings that Maisie's worked on. Cash completed a residence. Let's look at Cash's first. Cash is closer. So I want to look at his because if he's not working on anything else, we're going to get him to work on something. What was Cash working on? A brand new house in the farm district. And he is working on a birch medieval farmhouse, which is sitting right here. Dun, da, da, da. And there it is. This is the birch medieval farmhouse right here. Cute. And interesting. It looks like he has a place for vines to come up or something, like they're growing vegetables or something. This is the level 2, and it has the double bed in there. We're going to have Cash work on the level 3 and make the upstairs. That is as high as this house is going to go. We would like the house to go up to a level 3 and have an upstairs, and so Cash is going to work on that right now. So the builder is Cash. He's a level 5, and so he's going to be pretty quick at setting this up, as quick as a level 5 can be, which is going to, whoa, look at the bone block. Okay, that might be a problem. Wow. Medieval birch using bone block. Is that paper extra? It is birch, okay. Bone block and birch buttons I'll have to check for. Everything else seems pretty ordinary. Orange brick extra, we'll have to do orange brick extra, and bone block. Okay, so upgrade the building. And here we are. Now I could put the people who are going to move in here, and that is going to be Amani and who she's living with. Is she living with Brendan? Yes. No, I'm not sure. Hold on. Let me go get them out of the house that they are in, and we'll move them into this house. I know it's raining. They don't have to leave tonight. They don't have to change houses tonight. They won't change in the middle of the night. But tomorrow, look, there's Polly. Hi, Polly. Oh, Polly's underneath. Look, she's out of the rain. She's under the eave there of the builder. This is where Amani is, I think. Alea, see, this is why Brendan and Alea live here. And it's Brendan and Alea, who, the chicken farmer and the pig farmer, who we are moving to the new house that we're building. But we want them to have room for at least one kid. And so we're going to have Cash bring it up to the full level 3. This house is only going to be a level 3. This house is a level 2. They're not going up. All the other houses are going up to level 5. So let's come here and let us have Brendan and Leia move in here. So tomorrow they'll move into their brand new house. Let me check something here. Is this okay? I think that's okay. I've had problems with this fireplace and builders before, but I think with that piece on top, they can't get on top of that. And so that's how they fixed it, so that people wouldn't get hurt on there, because the builder lost a builder in that house, but that was a while ago. That was like in 19 and we're in 21, so that's the kind of thing that would have been fixed right away. And okay, and then continuing, Mr. Villager is saying some exceptions, religious members, guards, and soldiers will have their own uniforms, but about all the other workers, nope, no more exclusivity. So around day 4, I might get my Discord back to place. Yay! Do you think it will be too evil if I sent them a picture of your NPCs and then a Brazilian independence screen painting screenshot? And it leads me to think about different housing types. Interesting. I think it's fine. Who are you sending it to? Are you sending it to Techtopia or who? Let's go find us someplace to spend the night, and then we'll go into the next part of what we're going to do. Who still has room in this area? I think that they still do. Santino and Marissa live here. Marissa is the Fletcher. Santino is the dye shop owner. And originally Sutton and Marissa were living here, but when Santino moved in, Sutton decided to move in with Violetta. And we're going to use this bed right here in their house. You think he would be fired? Oh, send it to the Minecolonies team? Why? Why would you think that? You're just working on a different style. What would probably happen is that you would have to send it to them some sort of privately, because it would not be in relationship to Minecolonies. And I think that's the thing, that on their Discord, they like, because there are so many mods, they like to sort of keep things organized and only have to be responsible for their own mod. And because their mod is intense, their mod's huge. And so I don't think it's so much that you would be fired. I think it's more that they would say, well, this doesn't concern us. And I think that's what they would do. And it's one of those things where Mr. Villager, because they can't do bedrock, they don't want people to be confused about that. So hi, Mia. This is Mia right there. She's delivering. Is that Mia or is that Phoenix? Hold on. You tell me, Mr. Villager. Was that Mia or was that Phoenix? Phoenix is the dairy farmer and Mia is the stumelier. Let me come up here and see who that is.
Can I help you?
It is Mia. So Mia's doing delivery. She's actually doing food delivery. And take that, I can model now. That sounds valid. Oh, I heard that. Yes! Fireworks! So let's find out what just got built. Dun 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 dun! The Forester is finished. So this house is now a level 4. This house right here is now a level 4. And look, it's very pretty. Let's come. This is Old English. It is a tree farmer, a forester, level 4 house. And the house and the tree farmer are nested together. At level 4, we still have one of the beds downstairs. And we have 3 beds upstairs. So we have 2 beds here. Oh, no, I think we have to upgrade the house. Yeah. So we upgraded the forester right here. So it's a level 4. We don't have anyone assigned because we don't need a 3rd forester. We actually have 2. This is too small for me, for the forester. So this is just where the forester lives. And across, or used to, Harper used to live here with Gregory. But now Maximilian is living with his parents for right now. But this is what I wanted the forestry shop to look like. And so we have this extra shop here that actually runs this tree farm that you can see off in the distance. And there is Maximiliano, coming back to his shop. So let's go in here and let's have Cash upgrade this to a level 3. cash, upgrade the building. And you see how little it takes to upgrade that? That's what I'm talking about, where I will give him some other thing to upgrade as well. And in this area, I could give him this. Did I give him this already? If I gave him this first, no, I gave this to McKenna. I want to have McKenna do something else. Let's have Cash upgrade this. He's closer. So let's cancel the upgrade and let's build, and let's have McKenna do something different. Let's have Cash upgrade both of those two houses. This dormitory in the warehouse and the tree farmer's house. Yeah. And we'll come here. You heard too? You heard Vincentius Primus? Yeah. And okay, so let's see what McKenna is working on. If McKenna's not doing anything, we're going to get McKenna to start working on her own house and the house next door to her where she and Jack live. McKenna has lived with Jack from a long time ago.
Can I help you?
And hi, McKenna. You are not doing anything, and I don't think you have anything to do. Let's look here. And sure enough, she doesn't. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to have request a pickup. I'm going to have some of her materials picked up because she was already gathering materials for the warehouse build. And now we'll go down to her house and we'll get her started on bringing it up to a level 4. So we'll come down here. That's the train station. We'll come out this way and we'll go over. Oh, I could have gone either way. I could have gone out this door, the door that comes out to here, because we're coming over to here. Now, these roads aren't finished because I don't know what I'm going to do with this section. See that? And this is inside the town hall at level 5. These two buildings become one building at level 5, and that's why this is still just a walkway in that section right there. So we're going to come down. Jack is still selling beds. Ooh, he just sold one. Cool. Did you see that? And he just put another bed out. Cool. And right here, did I call him Jack? That's Eli. Jack is selling flowers. And that was Eli. And let's see. I mean, if it to be your final decision about the NPC's aesthetic or I don't, forget it. The good side, I wouldn't have to work on them for a long time. But I can already see that I will need some interesting items for such an add-on. And that's the curious thing. I mean, you're saying that, and you're going to end up having to put, like the same way you have the scythes for the farmers and things like that, that automatically makes them individual. And if you're saying that they're all wearing the same kind of clothing, well, then all you have to do is change the colors. Is that what you're doing? Is that what you're talking about? And that makes it easier? And yeah, it would make it easier. It would make it easier for doing stuff. Let's come in here. This house belongs to McKenna and Jack, and it is a level 3. And we're going to have we're going to have McKenna upgrade the building. So we need a prismarine brick slab, dark prismarine stairs. I think we already have the dark prismarine for that. And if we don't need a lot of them, we should be okay. The dark, the paper, framed paper extras, that's going to be interesting because that requires paper. So we'll see what happens with that. Upgrade the building. So she's going to upgrade this one. And let's come over here. And she's going to be pretty busy because she's going to upgrade this building to a level 4, and then she's going to upgrade this one to a level 4. So she's going to do both of these at the same, not at the same time, but one right after the other. McKenna, and upgrade the building. And right now, Emery is living here by herself. She's the new chef, and she's living here. And then Wade is upgrading his house right here. And I think he's upgrading this one also. Yes, he is. So he's got 2 of these that he's upgrading in the process of putting in more level 4s. And then Maisie, remember Maisie is not doing anything. We're going to have to check on her right now. Kinda, Mr. Villager says about what I said about having special equipment and stuff. But sure, for now, I only expect around, 3 variations of clothing for men and women. Yes, sounds enough. What do you say? 3 variations of clothes for women. It sounds fine in the beginning when they are, oops, what was that? Did you see that light change? That was a change of light in the city. That was interesting. Maybe, yeah, I see. So if the clothes don't vary a lot, it suggests the lack of variety suggests that they're either too busy working to be creative, or they're too poor. And so that's one of the things that that's why Minecolonies people look the way they do, because it's one of the things that can easily happen is, how do you make it not look like a uniform? How do you make it not look like everyone's dressed the same, like villagers, and how do you feel about that? And so that's one of the things. This is the new dining table in this build. This is the only, we have 2 Shire buildings. We have a Shire Additions guard tower, and we have this Shire house because it fits in the hill behind the carpenter shop. And someone's already asleep. Wow, are the parents in here? They sure are. Okay, so they changed. Wait, who's in here? Let's see if I can see. Let's see if it'll let me see who this is. It won't let me. Oh, I know. There's Gregory and Harper. Excellent. Okay, so Gregory and Harper decided they wanted this bedroom. The son had this bedroom, but this is the bedroom that's going to have the extra little room behind it. And so their son, Kingston, has this bedroom now, which used to be theirs. So they traded out. And the son that they fostered, he came in as an orphan, and Gregory and Harper wanted to have the experience of having a child, and so they raised him. And let's come down here. We get orphans from war zones, and those orphans are raised by families, by couples. They're always raised, most of the time are raised by couples. We have had, see this? That means that this is a level 4, because I've taken all of those away. And there's Estella in the downstairs bed. So Estella and Wesson are only sharing this house. They are not a couple. And they've just decided that they wanted to share the house for now. I could move Estella back in with the women. And I think I might, since she's acting like doesn't want to live with him. Why don't we move her back out? They're not a couple, in other words. So I'm just going to move her into the dormitory again. We'll move her right here. And she can live with Genesis, with Luna, and in the women's dorm for right now. And there's still room for one more in the dormitory on the women's side. And we'll do it like that. Now, when the time comes, we might move Wesson into one of these houses if he doesn't have a partner or doesn't want to raise any children. You think I stepped on the water. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Mr. Villager. That is what changed my view. That is what made all of a sudden everything bright. I stepped into the water and I got siren sight. That is what happened to me. Yes, I did. Thank you. Yes, I completely forgot. I was concentrating so much. I forgot. And let's see. And then at the measure, it grows more and more variations because your creativity is almost unlimited. Yeah, that's why you will go adding more and more, almost an entire different individual. That would be curious. That would be curious. That is an interesting way to set it up. It might be, you might find it as complex the way you're thinking about it as Minecolonies, where there are how many? 440 different styles of people skins that have to be for each style. I think that's what's going to happen. Okay, so remember I have these on me. We're going to take these Trade Post markers out in the middle of the night. I'm going to get a lantern and put on my hot bar so I can walk through town. And I'm going to see if I remember how to do this. How do we get a claim on another area? Now, if you've been here in the last couple of streams, you will know that Trade Post for Minecolonies has changed direction. That the idea that they had that you would have a builder go to another biome completely and build, that idea is too problematic because of the pathing that Minecolonies has for the people. And it's just one of these things that they never intended. They're having the problem too. That's why they have that special gatehouse and where you can join two colonies together. But this was to get to if you didn't want a whole colony, but you just wanted the foods that can be grown in a certain colony, you would be able to just build a small outpost that would be an extension of your town. And that is what we're looking at. Maybe sometimes adding an asset because each other, but hey, they won't brawl because they've got the same coat from the same tailor. No, maybe at the end, 8 to 10 clothing choices per gender. Okay, it's the more you talk about it, the more it begins to sound like it's going to end up. This is what happens with people who are making things, and they go, I'm going to change. I'm going to have a completely different idea about something. And when they begin to think about the idea, it begins to become an understanding of why the older mod, Minecolonies, does what they do and has what they have, because they've been through all the stages that you are talking about, Mr. Villager. They've been through all those stages. Sometimes people used to say Tango Tech versus Village and Pillage update. Village and Pillage update? Should I open this? I should open this. Let's show it to you for a minute. There's a witch's house right here, and there was a cave-in, a landslide, and the landslide actually closed up the house. And let me see what happens if I get a tool. Let me get this, but let me go into my backpack and get an excavator, and let's see what happens if we clear away some of this dirt right here. So here we go. We come here and let's use the excavator. I might need to put a lantern on the porch right there, and then I can use this excavator piece just to bring back this part right here and see. So there is the entrance right there, so you can see that that is what happened, that this witch's house got the landslide, almost covered the house, the witch's house. You'll see in the daytime. But for now, I'm going to put a bed in this house, and I think I'd like to put the bed. I think we'll change this arrangement here and put this here, and we'll put the bed right here. So let's get a bed that we can use. And you know me, I love the cyan color. We got an extra stream, another Minecraft Live. 1.14, that's the name of the update. It changed how villagers work and created the raids and expanded the illager family. Yeah, 14. Yes, indeed. That is exactly the thing that happened, where things got expanded and people got different places. Okay, so the sun came out, it make a song, and I'm going to put up this excavator so that nothing happens to it. And here are our outpost claim pieces, and we're going to go out and we're going to do the claim. Now, the outpost has to be directly connected to the rail. So in actuality, it should be right here. This is where the outpost should be. So if we do a claim off of this location, let's see how we want to do this. This is, you can see here, this is saying it's still plains here. And over here, this is saying it's swamp. This is swamp, this is swamp. All this is swamp coming this way. And then it turns into plains right there. Let's take this down. Let's take this rail and let's bring this rail over to the middle of this walkway here. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're in the swamp. See that? We just entered the swamp right here. So we're not going to have stairs down here. We're going to have to build, yeah, we can't have stairs because this would have to be like this. Wait, really? That's not a square? That is not. Stone, brick. That's not a brick. So let's put a brick here and a brick here, and that way we can have the train come down into that area. And we can have it come down to here. So let's take this away and put brick here. I don't know that I want it to come down more than this. So I'm going to have to raise up the location or turn the location beyond so that it goes into the hills here. What if we did that? Okay, and let's see. And well, the news drop is huge. We've got a dang autumn forest biome, abandoned campsites, red bushes, and the greatest change, wool stairs and slabs, finally, in the official Minecraft. That is pretty wild. Yeah. Oh, and a few leaks that some seem to be official, like a tree fungi, and straw beds. Ah, wouldn't that be wonderful? Straw beds would be great. And the community complains having decreased significantly. Oh, community complaints decreased significantly. That's what you're saying. Interesting. That is interesting. I might want to bring the land up here and have this come over to this section just on the other side of this. See, you can see the swamp. She's in the swamp, of course, the witch. And so we can bring it right to here. So let me see where we would like to put this. I know I did this before, but I'm looking at it again because it has to be connected to the rail. And let's switch to Trade Post. Let's go to Cliff. Nope, nope, nope. Wrong fingers. Nope, still wrong fingers. No, not that one. Hills. There, that's what we want. Hills. So this is Trade Post, and this is the Hills style. And we're looking for an outpost piece, and this is it right here. And let's look at the level 5. So see what it looks like? So let's see what would happen if we tried to put this here. So you see that? You see where the where it connects is right there. You see the connection. That's the connector right there. Let's see what happens if we put this in the ground right here and see what we're talking about. So we would be bringing this over so that it's sat right here, right on this part. But we don't want it to sit in the witch's house, so it can't be there. See where it is in relationship to the witch's house? It'll remove the witch's house, and look how much this is like this. We'd have to flip it. And if we flip it, it's still, does it still give us? That way, most of the hill is here, and this is where it would sit. And then push it back out, and let's see. I don't know that this one's going to work as well as I would like it to. So it would sit here like this, or we could bring it down to this level right here, and it could be here like this. Let me just make sure that that is coming right to that part there. It is 1, 2, 3, and it would sit here like this. So let me see what this looks like. That doesn't look good either. Yeah, and because of the way the this is right here, this piece right here, I can't change it. I can't fix it differently. I have to be able to have that rail join up to this piece right here. So I can't do anything with that. Let's try the Trade Post style and see what we can do first. You think you will have to change some schedules for your potential add-ons because that's wild, almost literally. Yeah, the changes, they'll be interesting, but first it needs to exist. Yes, indeed. So let's come here and let's do Trade Post. And let's put this here, and let's look at the outpost, and this is the outpost for Trade Post. So it's much flatter. Let's line up the rail for a second first and see where it would be. So if we lined up the rail to come down right there like that, and then push it back beyond the house, I would have to have it sit, let's do level 5. See, I have to have it sit so that I believe that the guard can actually come out of the house right at that point. See how it is on this side? I think he can do that on both sides. Yep. So if that was the case, if it was up at the level of the witch's house, which is practically at the level of this. Let me see. This is at 68 and the witch's house is at 68. They're both at 68. They actually both are at 68. So let's bring the entire thing up to 68 and let's see what it would look like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that if it was connected, it would be here like this. There's the witch's house. And let's push it back. And give just a little bit of a walkway here. She could walk around and walk in through that gate. And I like that. But that puts this up in the water like this. We would have to make an island here, specifically for this gatehouse to be here. And let's say that we did that. So let's say right here, this is not going to come down. This is going to come over. And so let me just for a second, let's just take this stuff away right here. Take this away, all this right here for a minute, and take this here away. We're going to add a straight across that's going to come, that can come across this bush for just a second. The bush is there. Oh, it's too far over, that's why. Let's do it from here, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just need it to come right here like this. See this? We can put in a bridge piece if we need to later, but we're gonna have land and we'll fill this part in by hand if we have to. Come on. And there it is. So there's where this is going to come to, and this is where we want it to sit. And now I need to put special posts. So let's go to sleep for a minute in the witch's house and come down here to the porch. And now that we definitely have a porch here, let's take this lantern and put it here and here and take this away. Let's see, are these slabs? They are. Let's come here and let's get spruce and we'll do this. I can already see the expansions. First we have the Techtopia original jobs, then the specializations, health conditions, skills and personal traits, learning, instruction, and happiness. More specialization than we can talk about. Dreaming too high? Definitely. I don't think so. And you hope that I'll be there to test it if everything works. Are you kidding? I loved Techtopia. Techtopia was fun. And I would be happy to test a Techtopia, a new Techtopia. Especially your new Techtopia would be very fun to do. And yeah, no problem with that. Let's go in and go to sleep. Is there a door? Why don't we put a door? So let's take away, I have to be careful here that I don't take away too many things. And let's come here and let's get doors. And what would she like? What would we like? Let's come down and see if we have some special doors. Oh, the biomes. Doors. These are domums. These are, oh, the biomes woods. Having some special doors here. And let's look and see. And I don't see anything interesting. The red one's beautiful. And the sliding paper. But nope, we're just going to go ahead. These are chip doors, which don't necessarily need macaws doors are interesting. I'm going to sneeze. And we're just going to end up using the spruce door. We could use the jungle door, but it doesn't look witchy. Let's use the spruce door. Let's come here and we're going to put it in. And I think that's opening up the wrong way. Let's see. Yes, that's the way it should open. Okay, and if we want it to open like that, let's do it right from here, but open it this way. Nope, it's still open the wrong way, so let's open this way. That's the way we want it to open, and that's fine. All right, let's put this away and let's go to sleep. All citizens are tucked in the city. Do you think I would have a rights issues with colonies if I added plate armor for the add-on? So I don't know. You can ask them. I've seen some things about Minecolonies. Minecolonies is open. They're open. And I don't know. I don't think that's a thing that they would. But the best thing to do when in doubt is just ask and find out. See what they would say and see how it will be. So we have enough dirt on this side for this part. We don't have enough dirt here. So let's do something that I can see. Why don't we do sand? Why don't we do sand so that I can see what I'm looking at? So from here, I need coming up right here. Right here. Yes. So see how far that's coming up? I need the sand to come up to here. And here, I need the sand to come up. Sand's good to do because I could drop it, except there's nothing to drop it on. So let me see. This might be the right place right here. So let's put that, bring that up. And there it is. So that's sand coming to there on that side. And, well, to not make a full copy, I might introduce heavy weaponry or find a different name for heavy armor and have a specific kind of armor that you want to have. Find a different name. Is that outside? Yes, it is. Let's do this right here. I really don't want to do more than what is needed for the build. So there it is, right there. So now that we have it marked on that side and on this side, I just want to see where this is coming to. See, it's right there. This is it right here. So we don't need any more land there. Land ho. Let us see if I can claim this piece. Let us connect. Let's have this come all the way out here like this so that it connects. And let's put the marker right here and let's see if this works. There we go. We've claimed. And so now we've claimed, and now we have to go back and with the marker that's been marked and go back to the wishing well and do something about it. But before we do that, otherwise we can't build until we do that. Before we do that, let's make this go away. X right here, and let's put in this piece of land right here that we want to put in. So let's get a scan tool. So even though Trade Post for Minecolonies outpost idea is going to change probably in a year, Ayer is saying, he wanted to leave it because a lot of people like me are already experimenting with it, and so he wants to leave it. But he already has an alternative, and we're going to use it in town. But I still want to see if I can see what would happen if we tried to do this. So I have one here and I have one over here. Why don't we take the one over here and make it the one right here? So that's one. And then we can come down in the water, and this is why I'm doing this, to make this right here the number 2. And that will give us a full box right there. And there's the full box. So let's start with the resources and let's replace the air with dirt. So we're going to replace the air with dirt. And there we go, and replace, and there we have it. So now there's andesite, there's coal. How many coal is there? There's only one piece of coal. I'm not going to worry about it. There's a dead bush. We're going to take the dead bushes out, and we're going to keep them, the dead bushes. So we need 4 dead bushes. So let's come here, and let's get dead bush. Because dead bush is something that they ask for, the builders ask for from time to time. And if we were digging this out, we would have gotten it. And so let's put that in, and let's go to resources, and where are the dead bushes? Let's replace that with dirt. Replace that with dirt, select, and that is gone. And then there's dirt, and then there's grass block. We don't have to, gravel. Iron, I'm just going to leave it in the ground. Lilies, let's replace the lilies with dirt. There's 14 lily pads. Lilies with dirt. So let's put in the dirt. And the lilies are replaced, and that was 14. So let's come here and get 14 lilies. Lily pads. 1, 2. That is the greenhouse. The greenhouse is the new add-on that Trade Post has for Minecolonies. And that's the one that is the new piece, which looks like a lot of fun. And we're excited about doing that. So now we have that part done. Let's come to show resources. And we have gravel. We have lapis, we have oak leaves, and the oak. So we have 151 leaves. We're just going to replace them. We're not going to take them. Dirt. So we'll replace them with dirt. However, the oak is 10 logs, and we're going to keep the 10 logs. So we're going to replace with dirt. Replace with dirt. And there we are. And then we're going to come here and get 10 logs from here. Oak log right there. And we'll put that in here. All right, next, let's continue because we haven't got to the water yet. Iron, lapis, I don't care. Sand, we don't have to worry about that. Seagrass. We're going to replace, and we're going to keep it, the seagrass. So we're going to replace it with dirt. I'm going to get a piece of dirt so we don't have to keep keying that in. Dirt, and select. And how many seagrass was that? Was that like 14 or something? Yeah, I won't worry about it. Let's get a piece of dirt for a minute. Let's say it was 10 seagrass. I think it was more than that, but we'll just take 10. Oh, we're taking 12. Okay, let's get a dirt. Let's come here and get dirt so I don't have to keep keying it in. If I get a dirt and put it in the hotbar, it should appear, and so I don't have to keep doing that. We're not taking the lapis. We could take the sand and replace it with dirt. Why don't we do that? Replace it, and see the dirt's right there. Then we don't have to key it in, and we've got that. And the sugar cane, there's 3 canes and 101 vines, and we are absolutely going to get those. So we'll come here first. 3 canes. Let's go to here, cane. We need cane, so we're just going to take it. 101 vines, which is 64. Let's do 64 and another 64, but let's put that sand up. Let's put this up and let's make it 32. That's not enough. 37, that's a little over. Let's look and see how much we have here. So let's put this in, and that, isn't that it? 101? Did I just do that? There we go. Okay, it was probably a little more, but that's all we're going to take. And let's continue. We're almost to the bottom. We're not going to do the grass, so we're going to do dirt to replace the grass, and we're getting there. And there's the water, so we're going to replace the water with dirt. And there is the water replaced with dirt. We replaced the cane. Maybe we didn't. Let's do that. And the vines, it was 101 vines and we didn't replace it yet. So we'll replace it with dirt. And the wild rice, 26. We don't need wild rice, so we're going to replace it with dirt. And there we have it. So there it is. So let's X. And there it is. So we have ourselves a little island here that we've just created. We're going to go up to the witch's house again and spend the night right here so that we can look at what this looks like. What this looks like. Yes, some strange laziness on my part. Okay, dun 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 dun. So, when the time comes, when this is built, we can have these areas just be fixed. And right here, where this is, I'm just going to chop these down. I don't really have to. I can let them chop them down and get them. And I think I'll wait. We know that the oaks aren't there because we got the oaks, but the bushes are still there. Look, doesn't that look like it's something? Doesn't it look like it's like there used to be a building here and that the building is gone? That's what it looks like to me. That is exactly what it looks like to me. All right, so this is where we're going to put it. This is in the swamp. And we're going to put the land there. Now what I can do when this is done is we will not make it look so much like this. Look at it over top of this. Wow. We've actually gone over top of this. We've made this an underground ravine right here. Fascinating. So there's a ravine that runs along this part of the river, and you can see that there's still lapis and iron in this ravine, which is why there was lapis and iron at the surface area there. Let's take that away. And so, yeah, so we might want to do some more about this when we get to it. So now we have this marked, this marker. You see the marker has something on it. If we look at our other marker that we have in the backpack, you can see that it doesn't. Oh, there it is. You can see that it doesn't have anything on it. But this one has numbers. Use a wishing well to stake out the outpost. And so that's what we're going to do. And so we're going to go back into town with this stake, and we're going to go to the wishing well, and we're going to get it. So it's like we're on the train. This is what it would be like if we were on the train. We'd be coming through here and coming along this whole track and heading back into town. Now what I want to see is if the builder will build it. There is a possibility that the builder will not build it. If the builder will not build it, I've already decided that since we have built that we will probably put another colony there at some point. But we're just going to go right through the train station. What's she waiting? She's waiting for lanterns, and she must not be getting them. So she's a little distressed. We're going to go right through, and here we go. We're coming through the train station. We're going to slow down. There's Thatcher. Thatcher is going to take us a little bit. Is checking our ticket. And then we're going to come here. We're getting off the train right here. This recent drop revived a small idea for a job idea for a potential expansion. What do you think of a forager gatherer? Oh yeah, that's what the pets are supposed to be doing. That's what the pet shop is about. The pet shop is about the animals being able to gather things. And I haven't really used it to its potential. Let's come here and let me see if I have something on here. Hold on. Let me go to the backpack and let's turn off the magnet so I won't pick things up. And that's fine. And I think we're good. And now let's come here. We don't need that. And so let's stand here and let's toss this in and see if I need something to go with it. Claim. I think I might have to toss it in like this. Nope. It's just sitting there. It's not doing anything. So I think it needs a coin. And we'll go to, let's see if it says on here. Wishing well. Wait, did it change? Hold on, did it change the 208468 7406? It did. It did. It changed the marker. So that was my fault. I made a mistake. I touched the ground and it changed the marker numbers. So I'll have to go back. But before I do, I'm going to, well, I wasn't thinking. Let me see. Let's come here. Let's go to the wiki for a minute. We'll look at the tavern here and see that Cash completed the building the fancy field. I forgot I had him building a fancy field. Oh, I did forget that. Let's come over here. I'm going to look for yeah, see it's already happening as the sun goes down. That oh wow. Drone Hands is live on Twitch. He started at 5 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. Drone Hands, the music that you're hearing in the background, which is so cool, is Drone Hands music, and he is now live on Twitch. If you have a Twitch account and want to go check him out, could gather sticks, berries, eggs, herbs, a potential new item, similar stuff, and mob drops maybe. So Mr. Villager, the pet shop has the animals being able to gather stuff. And so that's where they were putting that forager gatherer piece in there. Hold on, I'm going to cough. They were actually using the pet shop, the pets, to do that. The parrot, the pigs, they wanted to add a cat. They haven't done that yet. The parrot, the pigs, and the fox, all to do specials. Even the wolf is gathering animals, so it doesn't kill sheep because it's a pet. It's been trained not to kill the sheep. And it gathers sheep and cows and pigs animals like that, and so that's what it's supposed to do. I'm going to the wiki for a second. Let's see if I can find it easily. If I can't, I might have to go to Discord and check. History. Friday. Let's look at Friday and see if I can see the wiki there. I don't see it. Thursday? You'd think I'd have it pinned, but I don't. But I'm really considering pinning it after this. Yep. All right, so let's go to Discord and let's go to Trade Post on Discord, and I will find the pinned wiki on Trade Post in support for Trade Post. In the pinned area is the address on GitHub for the wiki. So we can let the Discord go away. And let me do this right now. I always say I'm going to do something with this and then I don't. Let's see if I can do this. I didn't do what I think. So it doesn't matter right now. We're talking about the outpost. So the outpost is a building, the location of the outpost is determined, and throwing it into the wishing well with the, and there's nothing there. It contains child buildings, including da 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 da. Let's go to the outpost full thing and see what it says. Outpost how to, making a claim. Then take the set outpost claim marker and throw it into a wishing well with a diamond trade coin. And this will claim the territory around the point set with a marker as part of your colony, and you can now build. So we needed a diamond coin and we needed the marker. So we're going to have to go back. Did you hear somebody was done? So we'll see who's done. That was Wade being done with one of the houses. Yay! And Cash being done, like we said, with the field. I forgot I had given him a field to do. So let me come down here. It's nighttime. Let me make the Git go away for a minute. Let's click on it and have it go down to here. There we go. And it's nighttime, so that's what you imagined for it. You didn't understand that all well until today. Yeah, that's actually what that's for. And hold on for a second. Since we're here, it's a new moon, and that's why it's super dark tonight. There's a new moon. I would like to make sure that everyone goes to bed. And let me see what time of night it is. And I'm not seeing everyone in bed yet. So I want to wait until we have and all citizens are in bed. So we're going to go in the middle of the night with this new moon where it's super dark. And we're just going to go down to the new house, which now has a field out next to it, and we can see the field from here is all lit up, and this is our new field. We're supposed to have 3 fields here. These 3 fields are for the farmer who's going to be assigned to a farmhouse. We're going to have a farm shed right here at level 5 of this dining hall. We've got 2 fields back here and 3 here. And so they're going to be split up between Ismail and the new farmer who's going to be here. Ismail is probably going to do this field, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 over there, and then every Kamari and Nikolai. Nikolai is first farmer. He's the first farmer. So when we have a collection of farmers, so we're going to eventually have 4. The one who is the counselor, the one who sits on the council, the town council, for the farmers is usually the first farmer, and that's Nikolai. And this is Nikolai's shop right here. And then these fields are divided between Nikolai and Kamari, who lives in this house. These are, along with Ismail, those are the farmers that we have. So we now have a new field right here and right here. And I don't know what's going to be in this field just yet. It is in the plains, so it has to be a field of something. This is beets right here, so it's going to be eggplant. So we know that we can just go ahead and assign this field right now. It's temperate. We can grow peppers. Wait, we can grow bell peppers? We can grow tomatoes. Oh yeah, that's right. What is this? There's spinach. I didn't see that. That's Minecolonies. There's spinach. Ooh, we can grow spinach. Oh man. Oh, we have to grow spinach. What do you think of some traditional city builder system? People get the food they want from some storage place and get it back to their home storage. So in other words, if people were cooking for themselves, that would be complex. That would be really complex. Because how would it be determined how much food they could bring home at any given time? We're now going to be Popeye. Yes! Oh, that makes me now want to see what kind of meals there are. Let's come here. No, let's come to here. Let's go to Minecolonies food. See that one right there? And there is mint. And is it, oh, it's not showing the spinach here yet. It's not showing it here. Let's go to JEI and see if it's showing there. Let's go to @Minecolonies. And let's see in the foods. Oops, we can't do that. Let's come here and see if we see the spinach. Wow, it's new, but it's not on JEI and it's not on, so since it's not on JEI, it's not in the, in this part either. I'd have to go to a restaurant and see what new food. We've got stir fry, I knew that was. Chickpea stroganoff. That was not there before. Bar nuts have to do with Trade Post. We had fried rice, and I knew the fried rice, but the chickpea stroganoff is new. Stir fry is new, and that's different. Oh yes it is. Look at that. We have some new foods. What is this mutton dinner? Is peas. We're not growing any peas. Can we grow peas anywhere? Let's see if we can, because we're not growing any. Stroganoff, yes. And I'm not seeing any actual spinach, anything that actually is showing spinach as a part of the meal just yet. We're growing it. There should be spinach salad. That's what there should be, right? There should be a salad. There are no salads. And that is what there should be, but I don't see anything yet. The quiche is still squash and onion and garlic and wheat. And the kebabs, all of those are still the same. Yeah, but we do. We have fried rice. which is rice and some meat, egg, carrot, and onion, which is nice, fried rice. And then we have stir fry, which is some meat, butter, onions and garlic, or mint or carrot. You can mix it up and make whatever variety you want depending on where you live. And that is very cool. Perpetual stew, of course, and which is Trade Post, but I'm not seeing anything. Dumplings and cream is Trade Post, okay. And so yeah, so we'll keep an eye out and see if we can see some food that uses spinach. For right now, we're going to grow eggplant, and when we can see what spinach is going to be used in, we'll have that. Spinach salad would be the best. Spinach would be amazing. Let's come here. Let's pick and let's grow eggplant here. And that's the seed. And I'm just gonna leave it the full big field because it's always so fun when it grows beyond. And we'll have it grow beyond in this area. And we're taking these away. And we can take those down. I had an axe. I know you're going, why are you using your fingers? I know. Well, I'm just kind of picking them up. And we can bring the land up around this. This Christmas tree can stay here, but we'll bring the land up around this part right here because they're going to want to build. They're going to want to go outside of the field in this section. So I'm just going to bring it up around this tree and around this part right here. And I'm doing it by hand. Yes, I am. And that wolf that you hear is Rude Wolf, which is our pet wolf that our trainer has trained a pet wolf, and that pet wolf works for the shepherd to make sure that the animals stay in. And so we'll have that. I think we can have it do that when we push this back into this area. We might do something about how that's going to be so that the animals don't get out. But I definitely want to push this animal field back behind this house so that they can come right up to the house and they come all the way out to this field area. We'll do that. I like the idea of that for the future. Popeye would be proud. Indeed. It is actually really fun to think about the fact, it's raining. Oh, ooh, rain came quickly. What time of day is it? It's 8 o'clock in the morning and it's raining. That means everyone's going to have the day off. And since they are, I think we're going to attempt to go back to the place where we made the trade post and get the proper numbers back on the trade post flag. And I'll be more careful this time about placing it in the water. So here's the train, and I think we can do it just like this. We can ride the train all the way down the track, sitting in a car. Let's sit this way. Wow. There we go. Yep, I want to go sideways. I must be sitting in a chair. I must be sitting in a chair. I must be. Yeah, it's one of the interesting things about this shaders is the way that the weather changes the sky much more than it does in vanilla Minecolonies. I know there are other mods that do it as well. This is the first one that I've had, first shaders that I've had. Vince's suggestion for a shader that changes the the quality of the sky, which is really quite amazing. Okay. What's that about? Go around this witch's house. All right, so let's try this one more time right here, right at this point right here. And let us get the flag again. And we don't need this. And we're going to do that. And there it is, 7340. So now this is the correct claim marker right here. And now we get to take the train back. And we're going to get a diamond coin from Genesis. She was supposed to be making us a diamond coin. And we'll check and see if she did. And so we will go back into town. It's only 11 o'clock in the morning. It just looks dark in the way that it would on a really rainy day. And so yeah, that's what we're doing. And yeah, I don't think I can get Vincentius' attention right now. Yeah, he's doing something. He's either playing or working on music or working. And so when he gets done, I'm going to talk to him about doing a better lighting, facial lighting, because I am still dark. Uh-oh. Oh, poor baby. I know, they're ignoring you back here, aren't they? They are not delivering to you back here. I know you're still waiting for this one piece.
If you say so.
Oh no! She's waiting for something else and they don't have that recipe. Ooh, Kingston. She needs something that Kingston actually can make for her. Wait, I will work on it.
Need something?
I will work on it. Okay, so let's go and let's get Kingston to work on that, but which will be easy to do. We'll go all the way to the back and get Kingston first, and then we'll come up to Genesis, who is our, should we check and see if there's anything in the warehouse? We can go by the warehouse and see. We will have to write this to write it down. All right, so let's come here, let's sort, and let's go to here and let's look and see what warped we have, PED. And we have STEM, but we don't have anyone working it yet. And so we'll have to have Kingston work on it. The other thing, let's look and see how many lanterns we have, N-T-E-R-N. And we have one, but we know that Santino, Giovanni, not Santino, Santino's a dye shop owner. Giovanni can absolutely make lanterns. He's the mechanic, and so we don't have to worry about that. And there is Nikolai. Nikolai is going probably to the tavern. No, he's going to a meeting at Town Hall. He's going to a council meeting, which is good. They have council meetings when it rains because they have time off at that time. We're going to head back to Kingston first. So we're going to take a shortcut between the sports center of the university, which is right here, the sports center. We are using Old English barracks, which has the archery, and the combat center, which we're using as a contact sport center, and the archery, of course. And then we're cut through by, as soon as this is a level 5, we'll take these away and make this a full sidewalk in this area. We don't need those decorative pieces on that building right there. We're headed for the Riverport, where Kingston is, and Kingston's mom, Harper, has brought in unusual woods, including acacia, which she has some stacked here, but in the back of there we have warped here, and we have we have jungle, and then we have crimson right over here. So these are the woods that he is specializing in. Let's go into the shop for a second. Let's come here and let's go and let's look at the teach recipe. And this is just made with oak planks, and this is spruce, and that's spruce, and this is birch, and this is oak. So those will be made by Marcos in town. What we want to do, crafting recipes, is to teach, and let's come back for a second. Let's look and see what he has so far. Did we do any? We did not. So let's go to warped and let's teach the warped, the full warped accompaniment. And so from here, we need stripped. He doesn't do, his mom does that, Harper. Stripped stem, stripped warped. Okay, so that's stripped stem and that gives us stripped warped. So he can do that. He can do the plank. Wait, that was wrong. I'll have to take that one out. Plank, I have to get the raw material. There it is. And do it from that. And then these, let's do the stairs is what's needed right now. Or I'm just going to go ahead and give him the fence just in case. And the gate just in case. The door. The trap door. And maybe the sign. Why not? Now he can't do the button or the pressure plate. That has to be done by Giovanni. So there's one thing that needed to be added. And now we're going to go to, and there comes Kingston. But it's sunset, so he's probably going home. It's raining, so nobody's working. Except the level 5 builders. They will work. Level 5 workers will work during the rain. So that's one thing, but we don't have any right now. I'm going to take this away. Put that there, and let me get that pumpkin jack-o'-lantern, CK. Give it back to them because they made it and they put it there. So I need to give them that along with the whoosh. The spruce, I don't remember getting that. Okay, now we can go quickly up to the cathedral and we're going to check for, do we want to go through this way? At least we'll be inside. Let's go through the catacombs. So it's sunset, we're going to go through the catacombs. This is the Undertaker of Luna. This is her area. Look how beautifully she has it swept and kept. So gorgeous. And then let's go upstairs here into the cathedral main floor. And you can see the cathedral right here. This is the hospital, Pedro's hospital, and right here. This is the doctor. But we don't, oh wait, this is not. This is the enchanter. And this is where we want to go. Let's look at inventory. Sure, she has diamonds and she has coins, but she has not made a diamond coin yet. She has the materials. So we're going to request 3 diamond coins. She should have enough for 3 diamond coins. So we're going to go and request them and she'll make them. It is the enchanter who makes the trade post. Sorry about that. Who makes the trade post gold coin and diamond coin. And the regular coin, the trade coin, this coin right here, is minted in an unknown land. And so whenever you need them, you can withdraw them from here and use them to make the gold coin and the diamond coin. So right here, we're going to request coin, C-O-I-N. And there's the diamond coin. Let's request 3 diamond coins. Request. And there we are. Oh, that's right. So they have to make the gold coin first, and then they make the diamond coin. The diamond coin is made from gold coin. So in order to, that's going to require 24 gold coins to make the 3 diamond coins. And we do have gold. It's going to be delivered to her, delivered to Genesis, and she is going to make us our coins that we need. So that is Trade Post for Minecolonies, this entire system. Now I don't want anything to happen to this. I don't want to accidentally do anything like I did before to that and have the numbers change. So we'll put it there. And this is the bakery. We do need another baker. Do I have that listed? I think I do. I have some things on me. I'm going to put them in here. The seagrass that we got, the lily pads, the jack-o'-lantern that we picked up, and we'll put all of that there. We don't need the scan tool anymore, so we're going to let this scan tool go back into my storage, and that takes care of that. It is almost midnight. It is pouring down rain still, so it's been raining all day and most of the night. So we're going to go to the town hall and sleep in the supply camp. And that, if you saw a guard, you saw Josie, who is our peacekeeper. She is the only one right now who is on the street. Our other guards are our gatehouse guards. We have 2, and a mine guard. And the 2 gatehouse guards are Hattie and her daughter, the child that she and Harrison fostered, Raylan. And then Harrison is working as a mine druid. They are all archers, except for Josie. Josie is I think she's an archer. They're all druids, but they're archers right now because I can't change their status and make them druids. You cannot have druids except in a barracks situation. And so she needs prismarine brick. I will work on that. And so let's go to Brooke for a second. I want to go to Brooke. She's the stonemason, and we'll see what new recipes she needs. And Brooke is right here, working right here. It's morning and she's probably getting breakfast. So let's come to crafting and look at all these things. So Brooke can make these. So we're going to teach her to make that. Teach her to make these. This is frame stone. Teach her to frame stone. And the shingles. They don't want to, the stonemason doesn't really want to make shingles. They usually don't go away when she has them here. Let me look here for a second. Let's look here for a minute. Yeah, I think I'm going to give them to, I think I'm going to give them to Marcos, the carpenter, to make. And let's see if they disappear. So Marcos is here. Let's see if these disappear. If we teach him. Now she makes orange brick, and we can, but she actually doesn't. Let's see if this goes away. Now that one did go away. And let's do stripped fancy door. Select teach that. And that one went away. This isn't going away because someone needs to know how to make orange brick. So let's go over to Santino. I keep calling the mechanic Santino, but Santino is the dye shop owner. He's the dyer in town, and he is sharing his shop with Marissa, who is the Fletcher. So the Fletcher and the dye shop are together in Old English style. There's Marissa, and there's Santino. And we come here, and crafting recipes, teach recipe. We need orange, brick, orange brick extra, and there it is right there. And that's how it's made, and it's made by the dye shop owner. And should we do terracotta at the same time? Those don't belong to us. And that, nope, we don't have to worry about any of that kind of stuff. Okay, so that is one thing. Now let me look at what's needed on the clipboard and see. I know clipboard's very modern, isn't it? I think it's too modern. So 116 brick extra, pink bed. Ooh. Let's come back over to Santino. Santino is not making any pink beds. And let's get crafting, teach recipe, and let's get a pink bed. P-I-N-K. And there we have it. A vanilla bed, pink. Houston, there we go. Right there. I'm going to do the bottom one when it turns to white. There. And there we are. So he's going to dye some white fabrics pink for the beds that are needed. And let's look here. Bone block. Okay. What? Climate control hub. Ooh. That's new. Josiah is working on the new greenhouse, and it has a climate control hub. Ooh. Okay, this is wild. Do you want to see what he's working on? Let's go over and see. That was Santino laughing. Let's come over to the new greenhouse that we have at the end of this main road right here, this intersection right here. We are now going to have a greenhouse in this area right here. And Josiah's going to start working on it, and he has. I don't know whether you can see it, but this whole area has been cleared out right here. And there it is. So you can see this whole piece. And he needs a climate control piece. Wow. So let me go to him for a moment. See, there's Polly in the air there. And let's go over here. Nope, wrong. I'm in the house. I don't want the house. I want the shop. So yesterday on Twitch, we put in curtains. We were primarily trying to cover the fact that that window has just dirt out the back of it. So there's nothing there. There we go. So we wanted to do that. And so we decided to put curtains on all the windows. Let's come here for a minute and look for climate control. And there it is, climate control hub. Ooh, a block of redstone wool and stone slab, and it is a mechanic. Of course it's a mechanic who has to make it. Of course it is. So we will go and get a mechanic to make that. I know that's what you need. I will work on it. I get it. Okay. And so we'll get him to work on that. The fastest way, I think, is just to, actually the fastest way is to go this way. So to take this road to here, and we need to make this a permanent road right here now. Come up here and come and go straight down to the wall, to the warehouse. Right here. And then we're going to turn down this street and we're going to go past the warehouse, past Sean, who's the recycling plant for Trade Post, and come in here. Let's do one thing first. Let's get this. So crafting, teach recipe, teach, teach, teach. Okay, so that's taught. And there was a couple other things that were needed. And let's look for a second. Bone block. Let's see who makes bone block.
Honestly, I feel privileged to live here.
Well, that's interesting, Santino. That's interesting to hear. No, that's Giovanni. Sorry. See, I'm still doing it. I'm calling Giovanni Santino. Sorry. Yay, Violetta got what she needed. And she is happy. Remember, we got Kingston to make those warped stairs that she needed. And so she finished that project. Her builder shop is a level 5 now, and she's going to work on her next project, which is the house that she lives in. She's going to bring it up to a level 4. And so let me look here for a minute and see if there's anything. There isn't. Let's come here and let's go to warped. And let's have him do a warped pressure plate and a warped button. Now we needed some other buttons, and I'm going to see just for a second if any of them are showing. Let's see who's going to do the bone block. Let's go to teach recipe, and let's teach bone block. And this is the normal bone block. Aha. And so we will teach that. Where does this come from? The bone meal come from? Let's see where bone meal comes from. Bone meal. And that is him as well. So we'll do this. Oops. Wait. Cutting crusher. So it is the crusher. So I thought it was going to be, but I think it's the crusher that has to, yes. So the crusher is going to crush bone into bone meal. Now we don't use a lot of bone. This is going to take some special negotiation with the skeleton nation by the mermaid nation to allow us to use as much bone as we are going to use in this house. And the way we do it is we appease them with a couple things. We appease them with gold. We appease them with the idea that their ancestors are being immortalized in this house, that this house has bone in it, and that kind of almost makes it like a temple to them. That the land people recognize the sacrifice of the skeletons who have protected their lands and who live their lives, and by requesting that they can use bone in this way. And so we've talked about once before what bone. Brendan, hi. Where is she? Where is she? There isn't another place. Did I not put her here? I did. Where's Alea? Alea, where are you? Okay, now she's here. Where were you, Alea? I was at the bar. I was just at the tavern. Okay. All right, so what we talked about was how do the skeletons decide what bones are used? What bones are used by foreign nations for the materials where they need bone? how do the skeleton nations make a determination of who gets used in that way. And most of the time it is their criminals, their people who have violated their laws, their bones are turned over to be used in that way. So they're not getting an honored grave, for example. Their bones are actually used to make those kinds of trades. They're essentially giving these prisoners' bones for, hey, they're mobs. They're giving these prisoners' bones for gold because they still want gold for them. And gold motivates skeletons immensely, as we have discovered since 16, I think it was, when we had the lords of the mountain, the lords of the desert. So yeah, we've had a lot of negotiations for a long time. All right, so everybody's in bed, and we're going to go to bed too for a second. And then we're going to see if we can get our coins. Let's look at the rare finds, and let's see in rare finds if there's something that we can use. We have lots of coin, so we can buy lots of things. And so we'll see what it is. McKenna, what do you need? I forgot about that. I'm sorry. Prismarine brick. Thank you for the reminder. I will work on it. So we're going to go to Brooke first. I beg your pardon. There's Brooke going to her shop, and we're going to get Prismarine brick slab, which is vanilla. So we can get that. Prismarine brick slab right here. The reason she hasn't gotten it is because that. I think she knows how to make this. Wait, who is this? That is her. I think she knows how to make that. It says it's not. Stonemason, she can't be. We're not out of room. Hold on. We're definitely not out of room. So she might know how to make it already, or that's been changed for someone else to make. Yeah, I think that's what's happened, that she can't make this. It says stonemason. She's a stonemason. Maybe it's a level 5 thing. Maybe she can't do it until level 5. Maybe so. That's X. And all right, so at least we know that we should have some prismarine brick, but I'm going to check, because if we don't have any, I think I'm going to put it on the list. Kenya, the list. We'll put it on the list. Okay. Of things that Gregory can request. What do you mean by it would be more complex for them taking their food home instead of going to a dining hall? Because that means that every single house, how many number of houses you have, would have to have the capacity to cook, the capacity to make food in some kind of way. Just the fact that they're taking it home doesn't necessarily mean that it's edible at that particular time, unless they're going to get it from the dining hall and take it home, which, you know, they might as well eat at the dining hall. And we have the Stumelier already, who's doing food delivery in Trade Post. The Stumelier in Trade Post delivers food to the hungriest people. And let me come here for a minute and see if we have any prismarine brick.
I asked for cordon bleu and the cook served me a potato.
We do have prismarine brick, and so it can be made into... Yeah, I know, it's an interesting idea. It is extremely complex in relationship to the fact that each house would then have to know how to cook everything that's grown in the town. So each house would be its own dining hall. And then why would they go to the dining hall? What would prompt them to go to the dining hall? So it would move dining halls into a pleasure kind of thing, that they were going out for a date or going out to eat, rather than that they're dependent on the dining hall. I can see that as an eventuality, but that is some absolute coding. That's some real coding that would have to be done. Right, Marcos? Right? Am I supposed to be giving you something to do? Let me see here. Crafting, teach. You still have these orange brick extras. Let's teach for him and see. Now they went away. See? That is what we wanted to see. So it is, that's the reason why they still appear on the list, is that for someone to make. No, I'm good. Thank you, Marcos. He laughed. He laughed about that. All right. So you thought of something else too. Smokers' furnaces become a requirement for building a home. Yeah. I mean, okay. Is everyone going to want to smoke their meats? I mean, this house is attached to a farm that grows animals, and so it has smokers and ovens because they're actually going to smoke meat. But do you have a smoker in your house? Mr. Villager, in your house where you live right now, do you have a smoker? Hi, Phoenix. Hi. People have, would that be the equivalent of having a barbecue or something? Because aren't smokers usually what they do with barbecues? Don't they smoke? Or is that you need a smoke? Don't we usually have like sheds or something special building where things are smoked? Check up there. Well, that's where the specialization goes. You're planning that after we get your chef in the specialization expansion would divide its job into smokers and bakers. But you thought of something else too, smokers, furnaces. Yes. And yeah, it would. And so I don't think that every house, I can't imagine every house having it. Furnaces, most houses have furnaces as a part of the house because most houses have kitchens that have a stove. See, there's a furnace there. I think if we go in almost every house, we're going to find a furnace. If we go into, that's an urban birch. This is an alternative urban birch building right here, and there's the furnace in that one. There are furnaces in the house here. We saw that they're smoking and cooking, and every single house has furnaces already. So you're saying as a requirement for the house, I think almost every house has a furnace as a requirement at some level. We can go over to who's not working. Who's not working on anything? Wade, how many things have you completed? Wade's not working on anything. So let's go over to the Littleton houses for a second. Smokers because of cooking speed, but I think you got, yes. While frying, oh, you're,
Yes.
You were frying your eggs. Okay, a break, yes, while frying your eggs, sure. Hold on for a second. We're going to walk over here and see what Wade's working on. And then we will see if we have our diamond coin yet. We can check. Oh, look. He sold all his flowers and now he's selling beds too. And let's come here and look. And we do not have the diamond coins delivered yet. They already have the recipe, so That's not going to be the thing. So we might have to check directly with her and see if she has them made already. They're both selling beds. Do I want them to make that many beds? I don't know. I think I'm going to stop them from making beds. For now, I'm going to go to Marissa. I don't want them to make any more beds to sell. And so we'll stop Marissa from making them. Uh-oh, someone else is done. Dun, 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 dun. So let's come here and let's get Marissa to not make... Actually, let's get Santino to not dye any more red beds. So what we'll do is we'll come here, red beds, and let's see if we can find it. Eventually there'll probably be a thing where you can search for those kinds of things. There it is right there, disable. We don't want to remove it. We just want to stop him from making them. Sorry about that. And so that way they can't get any more because Santino is not going to make any more beds. And they do not sell white beds. So also, so people don't stop constantly to take supplies to their home, I thought of a conditional trait called household head. Maybe it becomes an official job. I like that idea, Mr. Villager. One of the reasons I like that idea is that there aren't any housekeepers. So you can't have somebody staying home and taking care of the house. And I kind of like the idea that if someone wanted to, that would be a job that they would do. And that would be kind of fun to have from time to time, people who just wanted to take care of the house. And I know people underestimate that job, but that's a pretty interesting job. So I think that in that respect, I kind of agree that would kind of be fun to have someone who their job is being in a house, just being at home. And maybe like with War Minecraft, where they have gardens, see the gardens right there, that they would do their family garden, they would cook, would become the head, and would take items back home. So if you had 5 people living in a house, one of them would then do the shopping and do the work for all the others while the others went to work. That I can see very easily. That I think would be a really cool thing. They could also have a job and this trait, but maybe it could be a full-time job so they don't belong to the workforce. I would like it to be like that. I would like it to be that if you had like large families, like if you had a couple and 3 other people living in the house of whatever age they are, in other words, 3 kids, that's 5 people in a house, that one of the adults could work if they wanted to, as a house, as the keeper of the house, to keep everybody else fed, clothed, and taken care of in the house. I like the idea. I like the idea of that. It is complicated as all get out. It is a complicated thing, I can imagine, to code such a person in the way that Minecolonies is set up, or in the way that Techtopia even is set up. And it would be fun to have, and I would like to, that would be a fun thing to have. I would prefer that to be a single job that I like the idea of a person deciding that that's what they want to do, that they want to stay home and take care of everybody. And that would be a job. You don't have to have everybody do it. You can have maybe, a couple or however. And I just like the idea of that. I definitely do. All right, we were going to go up to Genesis. So let's go up to here. And let's go here. And let's see in Genesis, and she has not made it yet. So she did know how to do this. She has the recipes. There they are. She has the gold. She has the diamonds. And it's almost as though I would need to order the diamonds first, the gold first. So let me order the gold. We need 8 times. We need 8 to make a diamond. So if we need 8, we need 3 8s. It's 24. So we need 24 gold coins. So let's come here. Let's go to here. And she needs 192 coins. So that's the problem. I need to give her 192 coins. She doesn't have enough. And maybe she'll make it. I need to give her the 192 coins. So let's come here. Let's go to here and let's take 192 and withdraw that. And so we just got all those coins, and then I'm just going to take them to her. I probably could put them in the stash box and they would be delivered, but since I'm here, we can do it like that. It would be funny, like you scan one place with one bed and then the only villager living there becomes the head. I don't know, it sounds funny, but also great for them. And the city provides everything we need. Yeah, you'd have to work out how you would control that, how that would work more than just what you're talking about. You'd have to work out how that would be coded in so that the AI of all of the people would be able to do that, would be able to then be assigned head of the household and then have that job. That would be something that would have to be able to be done. Let's take these and put them here. So she didn't have enough. And now she has enough. She doesn't have enough gold for 3. She needs 24 gold and she only has 9. So we'll request 24 gold be delivered to her so that she can make the coins. Does the university have coins? Hold on. What if we don't want to wait? What time is it? Let's come up here and let's get the university to share. Let's see how many gold coins the university has. The university only has 4, so it doesn't do any good anyway. That's not enough. So we'll leave the university's coins there. Now the university has bone, and I don't think we need bone for anything here. I think I'm going to take 3/4 of it away and put it in the stash box and let them return it to the warehouse for the crusher to crush. And I'm going to have to make a special request for the crusher to crush the bone, and we'll do that right now. So let's put this in the stash box here, and that takes care of that. And then let's go to the crusher in the middle of the night. Oops, have to go through the door first and then come out. I don't know. And let's come over here. And let's come over here to where Ellie is. Ellie is our crusher. And let's look at the settings and let's switch to bone meal. And let's just do, oh, we could do 16. Let's do 32 just to make sure as a daily limit for right now. There's not that much bone, so she can do that many and we'll get enough. Wait, can't be done that way. That's what we want. Now I've got the right one. So 32 bone would give us 5. That'll give us more than enough. And we'll let Ellie do that when she wakes up. It is morning and people are going to start going to work. Yeah, the city provides everything that we need. It used to be that that's why people came together in places, was so that everything they needed would be gettable. So there would be enough farms. The farmers would bring their produce to a shop. The shopkeepers would sell it. The cloth, the animal wool, animal leather, all of that would be brought to a shop and changed and turned into clothes. So clothes and boots and shoes and hats, and then education, all of that would all be, all those kinds of things would be things that would be a part of being a part of a community, part of a town, a part of a location, a part of a town. And that is what we have here, as a matter of fact. Now, Maisie, I don't think she's working on anything because she was supposed to be working on this. And this is now level 4. And let's see if she's working on any other house. She was supposed to work on these houses first and then work on the other houses afterwards, the War Minecraft house. So let's come here, and this is a level 3. See, there's a furnace. Every house has a furnace already as part of the requirements of a house. So let's come here and let's do build options. The builder is Maisie, and she's going to upgrade this as well. Let's see if she's upgrading anything else. Let's come here. If this one's not being done, it's not, so she's not doing anything. So she'll upgrade that, and that takes care of what she's doing. And then when she's done with those 2, this will be the last house, and we'll be able to have level 4 kids. Yay! So we will have another set of kids after that, maybe 2 sets. And that should put us up to the 100. It only gives us 12. 2 sets of kids will give us 12. But we're probably at 75 right now. I thought we were at 80, but we're only at 75. And so that will give us our kids. That will give us a level of kids that I'll be happy with. This is a level 4 right here. It doesn't matter if we bring it up to a level 5 right now because it goes by the children's housing. So since the housing is only at level 4, I'm not ready to do level 5 housing yet. We don't have enough food variety for level 5 housing. And that's the thing that you have to be really careful about when you're building, that you don't get beyond the ability to do the food. So if you are going to, like we are, going to have an outpost or someplace where you can get the other foods that you need, it's really hard without rice. And so that's why we are trying to do that thing where we go to the swamp and do that. And if not, then we will do the greenhouse, whichever is done first. The specialized greenhouses that have control where the let's see what he's doing. Ooh, look at this. Look at this. There it is, people. This is very nice. Now this was supposed to match up with I don't know how this happens. This was supposed to match up with this walkway here. This is supposed to be the entrance right here. It doesn't look like it's going to be. It looks like that's the entrance, doesn't it? Now maybe it is in order to fit it in the building this way. I was trying to make the building fit here, and I forgot about the fact that I wanted this to join up here. So we'll just have to put a corner here. Let's take this away. Let's get an axe. We have one on us. And let's just take this part away here, because we are going to have the walkway be here, because this isn't, if I'm not mistaken, is the entrance, or this is the entrance, which would be even more interesting, which would be having a square, having this street come all the way over to here and make a square. We have practically room for another house right here or something. Wouldn't that be something? I don't know what we would put there. Huh. That's going to be curious. What will we put there? There's a bakery right here. This is a dining hall here. And look, he's working on it. Look, you can see it. And of course, when I said look, he stopped. But this is massive, as you can see. And these are the fields right here. These two fields. And we are going to grow rice and soybeans in these fields as well. And we'll do that. I could mow down this grass in this area, make it easier to walk in this area. So I'll do that for right now, until this part gets done. And then we'll see what we want to do. But yeah, it looks like we could almost put something. It's not big enough for a house. It's not big enough for a Littleton house. The Littletons are still big. And let's come here and let's go to fundamentals, to the residence. And let's drop it down here for a second. Let's see how big it is in relationship to what we're looking at here. Yeah, see? So if we did it, it fits, but it would mean that we would have to have the... So if we did that, we would have to have the street go straight right here. Let's bring it up. The street goes straight, level 5. And have the house, and which way would the house be facing? I think we'd have it face this way. Bring it down, bring it over. We'd have it face this way. We can have it right on the edge of that gate, and we can pull it back to here, so that we can have an actual street run along this part right there, and then have this street. Look at how close this is. But it's going to tear away. It's going to take away this part, unfortunately. But that looks like we could keep it, doesn't it? It does look like we could keep it. Of course, it would be here like this, and then we wouldn't have that. We'd have to fill that in. I still kind of like the idea of that. Still having that big candy corner right there. We could have one more house. We could indeed. How many people work here? I think only one. But I'd have to look and see. I think only one works here. Nope, can't see yet. So we'll check and see. So in front of this greenhouse would be this house sitting here like this. And behind this house would be this greenhouse piece right here. Or, ooh, something even more different. Hold on here, let's look at this. There's another house, another part of Trade Post. The add-on, let me see, the gardener add-on, GAR, greenhouse gardener. Select, and the spruce, there's the field and there's the greenhouse, and under the greenhouse there's the small greenhouse, level 5, which would look like this. Now this greenhouse doesn't have a field. It's just this building. I don't like that it's not technically a building. And notice that it doesn't have a field attached to it. So if we were going to do something, it wouldn't be that. What we would need is a field. Let's go back. And this is the field, and we only have one size. There, oh, there it is. There's the small field. And this field is actually pretty big. So it's overlapping everything right here. So it doesn't fit well into this area like that little house did. So we'd have a house here. People live here and here. We have 2 houses here and 1 house there. And the farmhouse here. That's it. That's not a lot. That's actually not a lot. So I think I'd rather do the house. Can you think of anything else I might want to put there, Mr. Villager? Anyone else? Anyone else can think of something? How much time do we have? We have an amount of time left. Let's go to Littleton. And let's look at Littleton for a minute. We don't need a forester. We have 3 places where we could have one. We don't need a builder. We can't use another tavern. We have more than enough visitors. The hospital is in the cathedral, so this doesn't do any good. The hospital's right there. Dining hall's down the street. We don't need a mine in this area. And let's go to here. Luxury. There isn't anybody that we would want to be here. The alchemist, but we already have an alchemist with a huge tower. So we don't need the alchemist. Decorations and agriculture. I didn't know that there was a Littleton plantation piece. Let's see. I didn't know there was a Littleton plantation. There has to be, but I don't see it. That's fascinating. That's not my imagination, is it? Farmland. Husbandry. Now that would be an interesting thing to put here. You left for a moment and you were afraid the stream was ending. The stream's going to end in about 10 minutes. You were right. You were right. I don't... This rabbit hutch is too small and I don't like it for rabbits. And then we'd need people living here because then we'd have a rabbit hutch as well. And I think I'm going to put a house here. I think I am just going to go ahead and put an extra house here. Farmland. Yeah, there isn't going to be too much else that I'm going to want to be here. So let's take this residence level 5 and let's put it back where we were putting it. So we were matching this part right there. That part matches. And then we were bringing this to here. I think we were matching the back so that the back matched. See that right there? So let's bring this up so that it matches the back right there, and that gives us the walkway. So the walkway will be here. They'll actually be able to use this walkway. We won't have the plants come out that far when this is ultimately done. And here we go. So let us come and build the building. So we're facing the building this way because we have the next door neighbors right there, and they would have this look from here. We could either face it this way or we could face it this way. I think this is better. See, they'd be facing the wall right here. Their front door would come out to the wall. I think their front door coming out to here gives them a little bit more room and space. So we'll do that. Assign a builder. And there we go. So when he's done with this building, then, and let's go, where can we go? No one's living here right now. We moved Alea, and we moved, was it? It was a swine herder whose name I've forgotten. I've already got the greenhouse placed. Oh yeah, definitely. That, let's come over here. So there's the fishery right here. And this thing going in right here is the greenhouse. So we did the research. And then we placed the greenhouse here. And Josiah's in the process of building it. So it's right on the edge of the farm country and the university district. It's right here. And we have, there's our border, so everyone can see how far back our border goes. So we have plenty of room here to have this in this location. And this is the level 1 that he is working on. And we can see him working right now on putting in the wall, on the roofing on this greenhouse. So he is working on that. And we've got a trader in town. And that's Dennis, one of the fishers, going back to work. He was probably in town to get some food. Probably went to the university dining hall to get something to eat. And that's Josiah, who's fast and working really hard at putting in the pieces that he needs. Now he needs a special piece from the, do we have any blocks? Can he make blocks? He should be able to make blocks. Should I have checked on the redstone creation? You would call it the monk's courtyard. It'll be interesting to see. It kind of looks like it's connected to the university, doesn't it? Giovanni, let me see what you can do with redstone here. And there it is. So there's the redstone block. So he can absolutely make the redstone block, and he can make this. He hasn't made anything in a while. He made torches yesterday. So we requested the climate control hub, and he hasn't made it yet. So he does have the recipe for it. Climate Control Hub. There's the recipe. Wait, where is it? There it is. There's the recipe right there. And she's bringing some stuff for him. He might be waiting for wool or for some things in order to make it. But he does have the recipe. Was that Zoe or hi guys? We have all sorts of couriers around here. And this is, let me come here for a minute. So we gave him some things to be recycled. One of them was an old axe. And I wanted to see if he actually recycled it. He didn't complain about it. It was gold. And I think that is the gold from that axe that we gave him. I'm hoping that used items can be put to the recycler. So you know that there's no repair, that the townspeople will not repair tools and things, but they will bring them to the warehouse. And so I'm hoping that yeah, I'm hoping that that's something that we can look at. So let me look at axes, for example, an axe. And so all the axes that we have are repaired. Let me look at picks and axes, shovels will be. And they're all repaired in the house. So that's good. That might mean that they're already removing the ones that aren't usable and giving them to Sean and having them and having Sean recycle them. That would be perfect. We're not having Sean recycle boots because boots can be repaired and sold, and so we're not having those being recycled. And if we look at helmets, we don't have a lot, so we're doing good. If we look at chest plates, ESD. So we've got some interesting chest plates. There's one, for example. See that iron chest plate is used? Let's find it. Let's see if I can find that chest plate. Did I click on the right thing? Let's go back to the chest plate for a second. Just make sure. CHST. Let's click on this again. And I did this time. Absolutely click. I don't see it. There it is. There's an indicator on the floor, so it is down here, right here. So these are damaged. All these pieces right here are damaged. Let's take this. Let's take these up. Let's put this here. And see all of these? We're going to take these and have them sell these off. We'll leave a couple. Actually, we don't need to leave any. Let's have them sell these off at the shop. And the ones that are damaged, we're going to give them to recycler and see if they get recycled. So let's close that. So we'll come down here to the recycler, to be recycled, and we'll put these in. Now, if they can't be recycled, it's going to tell me right away that it can't be recycled. So he is going to recycle them. And then we'll come down here, and we're just going to go right to the shop, and we're going to have one of them start selling leggings, gold leggings, and that'll be fun. It'll actually be fun. So let's do that. What do you have? You still have beds? How many beds do you have? Holy good freaking night. See, this is why we don't want them to sell beds. This is why we turned it off, because look how many beds there are. Wow. That is a huge amount of beds that they're selling. So let's come here. Man? Yes. No, Jack. No, Jack. There we go. And we're going to give him these. We're going to give the big shop all of these. I think there's enough room.
It's a fine day.
And then we're going to give the little shop, Eli's shop, that's the soup being boiling there. We're going to give the little shop the chest plate and the helmet to sell. So yeah, and so that takes care of them for a while. Yeah, and look, see, now he's selling leggings as well as selling beds. And yeah, he put some, ooh, he just sold a bed. Look at that. Excellent. He just sold a bed. And so he'll put something else here to sell after the customer leaves. And he decides what he's going to put there to sell. What you selling? What you going to put there? Or is it too late at night? Are you going home? No, he's trying to decide what he's going to sell. There we go. Ooh, someone bought something. Yay. So he's got a booming business going there. It will be amazing. Oh, wait, you just remembered. You can smelt armor and turn it into nuggets, but never mind, it would be too wasteful. It doesn't make sense to do that when we go here and look at how much the armor is worth. Sellables. And the armor is worth 2,000 coins, 2,200 coins leggings are worth. The helmet is 1,600 and the chest plate is 2,500. So it's not worth it to melt them down. It would be better to repair them and sell them the way we're repairing and selling leather boots. Even if we repair them only with other boots, we're still getting 1,600 for one pair of boots. And so that's how we're doing it. And it works. It works really nice. And that is Trade Post working like that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be it for today. We'll have to come back and check on Genesis and see if she's gotten us the gold, the diamond. Do I want to do that? Take 1 minute and look and see if Genesis did make the diamond coin. Genesis is going to bed. She just left the building. But let's see what she's got here. Look at this. She's made 15 gold coins. So she is in the process of making the gold coins to make the 3 diamond coins that we want. So it is happening. Yeah. Well, this is the complexity, and this is why I'm talking about the thing that you want to add. This is a mod to mod Minecolonies, the Trade Post mod, and it is really interesting. Interesting enough that is why I built this town specifically to try the Trade Post mod. And I love the idea of the greenhouses being in the city, and that they have a special you have to make them climate controlled. And I love the idea of that. I like it even better than the outpost idea. And like I said, if the outpost doesn't work, then we're just going to have another colony there, the way we had Rosa Oru in we haven't built the tropical. That's a swamp. That's a swamp where we are. And if we wanted to, we could expand a swamp city out from there, which would be quite fascinating. It would really be fascinating. It's a shame, Mr. Villager, that your skins aren't ready yet, because that sounds like it would be great for this new city that I want to have. So yes, so we can see that this is being worked on here, and that's going to be the new climate controlled place. When Maisie is done with the houses here, we're going to give her this house to put up, because he is going to be working on this up to a level 4. I believe that this goes up to level 5. the same as other builds do. And that is where we're at right now. So thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm still trying to work out my timing. I didn't realize that I was going to be overlapping drone hands, but I'm still trying to work out my timing where I want to stream. So if you're seeing me here, this is not a normal time. I just am spending a couple weeks on the East Coast, and I have to figure out how the timing is going to go. Yes. And I'm glad, because I really love your ideas, Mr. Villager, and I think you have some really cool ones. And I love that you're excited about making more game stuff. And that is really fun. It is. So thank you. Obrigado. Thank you for being in my chat. And it's been really fun. I beg your pardon having you here. Let me get one of these. I have an extra one. And there I am. And yeah. And so everyone, enjoy your games. Enjoy watching all the other gamers. The next time that I stream, I'll be in Twitch, and we'll continue working towards having the Trade Post pieces, the add-ons from Trade Post, and the Trade Post Outpost work. So bye for now, everyone. We've been listening to Drone Hands music. We're going to listen to Vincentius Primus once again. So bye for now. Bye for now.